Hello, happy Monday, everybody. How is everybody doing? Let me just get this going. Hi, happy Monday, happy Monday. I'm so happy you are here with me. Life coach, catalyst, Coachtammyward. I am a life coach that deals with transformation, transition, and mindset, while all at the same time giving you a little bit of my intuitive psychicness, readings from your guides to be able to help you live your best life. All right, guys, the few things that I want to talk about this morning deals with, I was struggling between two different things, right? I wanted to talk about emotional eating and I wanted to talk about the lies that we tell ourselves. And so these two things I have realized in my life and some of my clients' life that these two things is literally what can hold us back from a lot and can also be able to drag us in the mud. I guess that's what I want to say. I want to say drag us in the mud. So if you're there, if you're able to, grab up your hot drink, cold drink, whatever it is, take a sip. Take a deep breath with me. Let it all go. I would love for you to place your hand over your heart, your chest, and just say, I am not ahead. I am not behind. I am exactly where I'm meant to be. Just feel that. Yes, yes, yes. I just want to make sure that our energy is in tune together for you to be able to be open and hearing this and to be able to receive the message that you need to receive, or someone else. You may share this video with other people. So whatever it is, I hope it serves you. So I got my trusted note cards because you guys know I can get so like off topic because I just want to talk. And so I want to make sure for you, I serve you in this moment and stay on topic and be able to give you the best things that you need to eat. Okay, so emotional eating. So please, if you're there right now, give a like, give a thumbs up, give a whatever you got to give to say, yes, that is me. I have emotionally ate my whole entire life, still continuing to do it, try to do better, but I'm still struggling. I'm going to raise my hand. I'm going to hit that like button because that is so me. I struggle with emotional eating. And I have since a child. And I think that those are so many things that we develop as we're growing. You know, society, especially women, but men out there too, this says the same thing. Society tells us we got to look a certain way, be a certain way, eat a certain way, have a certain way. But the emotional eating comes in and we just lose all thought. So I want to go back in time for a second and just talk to you about when we were all hunters and gatherers, right? When we were all like that caveman, and that human was developing in our world. And anytime the hunters and gatherers would eat, they would wait until they're in their cave. They would wait till they were safe, till they felt secure, so they knew that they didn't have to like look over their left or right shoulder like something was going to attack them, right? And that truly is when that GABBA receptor in our brain began to develop. That GABBA receptor there begins to like come out and say, hey, you're safe now. You can eat and it's okay. It's basically serotonin, really. That serotonin of that relaxed state and that emotional state and all that other stuff. And so when that happens, anything that we do outside of that, so anytime we ever have another emotion of scarcity, fear, unknowing, you get the anxiety, anything where it just even, because I don't know about you guys, but and give a thumbs up on this too. You can pretty much eat when you're happy. You can pretty much eat when you're sad. You can pretty much eat when you're happy. You can pretty much emotionally eat whenever. Like you don't have to, it's almost like you're not feeling a certain feeling. You just are emotionally eating. Well, that's because psychologically you have programmed your brain to emotionally eat whenever you feel a feeling. Because all you're wanting to feel is calm. You're wanting to feel calm. You're wanting to feel soothed. You're wanting to do all these other things. So whenever you want to be soothed, whether it be and happy, the reason why people say, okay, well, how do I want to be soothed when I'm already happy? Well, the reason for that is because The reason why you do that whenever you're happy is because in your subconscious, you know you're eating and you know you're going to talk shit to yourself about it later. So that's like the borderline. Your brain is always in fight or flight. Your brain is always wanting to protect you. So whenever you emotionally eat, you're eating because somewhere, somehow, you need some dopamine. You need some serotonin. You need to be calm and relaxed. And you need to be like just at ease. And so that's why, because if you imagine yourself, there was a one time before when I realized that I was loving myself through food, I realized that the reason why I was doing that, because anytime I was eating, I was at this state of like, nothing can get in my way. I love myself right now. I'm happy right now. Everything is great. And the reason for that is because I was creating the dopamine. My GABBA receptors were saying, yes, this is how I want to feel all the time. So anytime I'm feeling off from that feeling, you begin to eat. And that's period, amen, right? And so what can you do to be able to not do that anymore? Well, great question, right? I'm sure you ask yourself, and I know I've asked myself tons and tons of thousands of times. So I want to talk about two different ways, right? I want to talk about the psychological way, the brain way, and I want to talk about a little bit of what I love, the light worker way, the woo-woo way, if you will, the way that like be able to get you to just believe in yourself a little bit more, right? So the psychological way is this. You have to be able to switch it. You have to be able to reframe it. You have to be able to give yourself something that will allow those GABA receptors to be in control, to be able to give you that sense of dopamine, to be able to give you that sense of those receptors of the receptors of saying, of those serotonin, like I'm okay, I'm calm, I'm safe, this is where I want to be. This is exactly the feeling I want to have. I don't want to feel anxiety. I don't want to feel fear. You have to be able to switch that. And so there's 3 things that I've done for me to be able to switch that. And I hope that you can utilize these tools or at least create your own in a way and develop them in a way that serves you, right? And so the first one is breath. So you look at the beginning, I just put my hand over my right hand over my heart, and I was just like, I'm not ahead, I'm not behind, I'm exactly where I'm at, right? And I do that when I first initial have that thing of like, I want to eat. And sometimes I'm in the middle of eating it, yo. Girls, please, are you not in the middle of eating something going, I should not be eating this? You know what I mean? Or we starve ourselves thinking that that's the way to do it, right? And you don't have to. So imagine yourself just for a second in the middle of eating. For me, it would be like a bowl of cereal. I love me some cereal. So for me, it'd be a bowl of cereal. Like, so I'm in the middle of eating a bowl of cereal and I'm like, oh shit, I should not be eating this. I know I should not be eating this. And so in that moment, as much as I hate to do it and hate to waste, I put it down. And I know sometimes even when I'm pouring the cereal into the bowl, my subconscious is saying, don't do this. This is not going to make you feel good. This is not what's going to get you. This is going to help you for a slight moment, not the whole time. So please stop, Tammy, stop. And I'm sure you guys are at the same level, right? Yes, a lot of you are. So in that moment, put it down, take your breath and just say whatever comes to your mind. I am worth more than this food. I do not need this food. You can even ask yourself, am I hungry right now? What can I do to satisfy myself right now? What do I truly need? What is it that I'm feeling where I need to feel calm, right? What can put me in a calm spot? What can get me there? It's all about just taking a second and asking yourself questions, right? So now say you did eat it, right? You did eat it and now you're starting to talk shit to yourself. Well, look, don't talk shit to yourself. Because at the end of the day, what's done is done. What's done is done. Set something in motion the next time it happens. Set yourself, and don't just not eat like a lunch because you had a big snack, right? You have to be able to get your body healthy, and by starving yourself does not do it, right? So whatever it may be, maybe it be like a nice juice, or maybe a smoothie, or maybe a drink of water, or maybe a tea, or maybe a coffee, whatever it may be, to be able to like satisfy you and get you in that calm. And above all, meditation is my number 1, right? So that's my second tool. My second tool is just meditation. I will set a 5-minute meditation on, I'll just Google on YouTube, 5-minute meditation on how to prevent overeating. And boom, something will come up. And you know why something comes up? Because everybody else in the freaking world has this problem, right? We have this emotional eating. We have this thing that happens in our life. And so that's another thing. You've got to find out what will give you that serotonin and that dopamine to you to feel calm. Because that's all it is. Your brain is trying to control you in this moment. Your brain is saying, hey, I want to protect you. Yes, I want you to feel calm. So please eat, eat, eat. Your brain literally does that. Okay? So you psychologically, you and your inner self, you and your knowing has to be able to tell your brain, whoa, pussycat. Like, look, I don't need to eat this, yo. I've got enough stored in me to last a lifetime. Right? So you've got to be able to find that serotonin and find that dopamine. And my third tool, and I know some of you are going to be like, what? It's masturbation. And I know that sounds crazy. And sometimes because listen, whenever we have orgasms, we have a huge amount of dopamine and serotonin. We're now at a calm, right? Our body just says, we've released. So release. And look, if it's you're like, oh my gosh, masturbation, I can't do that. Then, figure out something else that will release the serotonin and the dopamine. Because cognitively, this is how it works, right? Psychologically, you have to be able to reframe and not re-interject. I don't even think it's a word, but eject more things into something that gives you that feeling of calm and peace. And that's really, truly how you get through emotional eating. It's about what is the feeling you're having, anxiety, fear, and then how do you switch things up instead of using food to have that dopamine. Some people even use journaling. I mean, there's times where I went through a whole 2-week process where anytime I felt a feeling that was getting out of control, I wrote it down. I wrote the freaking feeling down, and I wrote the, what, wow, how, when, where, right? I wrote everything down I felt about it because I didn't need to, and I didn't want to feel the feeling. So I thought, well, if I journal, because like what I think most psychologists say it takes 90 seconds to really just shift a feeling. And I think it might be less than that. I don't know. I know you psychology majors out there, you tag me on that, right? But yeah, so switch that up, and that's how it's done, so there's a lot of people out there that go, chew your food and count to 200, That ain't gonna work. You wanna know why that's not gonna work? That's not gonna work because you're not changing the emotion. You're not changing your receptors in your brain. Okay, you may be taking the time out to take a breath and do everything else, but the sensation of food is still in your mouth. And so therefore you want another sensation of food. So the two receptors working at the same time is like, mark, mark. So just FYI there. I mean, you can try it. I mean, if I'm wrong, please comment below and tell me I'm wrong. I would love that, but just try it and see what works. And try so many other things because the work works, y'all. The work works. And so look, I wanted to just touch on you a little bit about juicing, right? And there's also this intermittent fasting and things like that. Your body's going to tell you what your body needs, right? And so if intermittent fasting works for you, that's great. It does work for me. I usually stop eating at 7 o'clock at night, and I usually don't eat my next meal until usually around 10, 11 o'clock in the next morning. And so, so be able to figure out what works for your body, because some people may not have that. Some people may have like such high metabolism, they cannot have that. Some people may have, are taking medicines that don't allow that. Some people may be, having things that are chemically altered into your body to where your body just doesn't work well with intermittent fasting. And when it comes to juicing is good, right? Juicing is good for you. But when that is your only substitute of what you're doing, then you have to be able to find ways to be able to get your brain to not want the sensations that you're wanting of chewing or of tasting or so you have to be able to work with that. But if it doesn't serve you, right? If it loses weight, great. But that doesn't serve, just because you're losing weight doesn't mean it serves you. I want to ask, just because you're losing weight doesn't mean it serves you. Okay? What serves you is being able to shift those receptors in your brain from the fight or flight to the, okay, now I am feeling this emotion. I'm feeling anxiety and fear. I know my brain's going to switch to wanting something to eat, but before I do that, I'm going to go here next. Ask yourself what's going on. Because I'll tell you this, I love juicing. I have my own juicer. I sometimes buy the juice, the suja, the things like that. I love me some juicing. And there's times where I sometimes, it's not until dinner time where I will have an actual meal to chew, because that juicing has filled me so much in a way that it's so good. Like, it's so good for you, and it's good for your body to, it detoxifies you. It does all those things. And intermittent fasting does the same. But the thing about intermittent fasting that a lot of people get confused is that it's all about the meal you eat after you fasted. Like, you can't just intermittent fasting for 18 hours and then eat a bowl of cereal. Your body's going to be like, what the fuck, right? Your body's going to tell your brain, yes, that's what I want all the time. All the time, that's what I want. And with juicing, it's different, because your body can then start, craving and loving and being full just on that juice alone. Just, and so it all works out. But just remember, if you are juicing and you are feeling the sensation in your body like you're still constantly hungry, then it's not serving you. Have the juice and something else healthy. And if intermittent fasting is not working for you, break it down to where it's like, does 18 hours work for me? Does 6 hours work for me? Does 5 hours work for me? Because listen, society has taught us that you got to have 3 square meals a day. You could have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And, you got to have breakfast because that is like what thrives you, right? It gets you going. It gets that brain going. Negative, shipwreck. The thing that gets you going is listening to your body about what you need next. Because listen, I haven't had anything to eat yet, right? I think it's like almost 11 o'clock my time in California. And I've been awake since 5:30 this morning. But I'm not hungry. I've had 32 ounces of water. I've had a tea and a coffee, and and I think I had a beet ginger turmeric juice that I had, and I'm golden. Like, I'm energized. I feel healthy. I don't feel hungry. I don't feel sluggish. I don't feel crazy. So listen, it's all about listening to your body, right? And how you listen to your body is understanding what feeling is coming in. Period. Amen. All right. High five, thumbs up to that. If you have questions on emotional eating, DM me, comment below, see what's up. I'm here to help you. And listen, I'm not a nutritionist. Let me say that first. I'm not a nutritionist. This just comes from, it comes from like 38 years of emotional eating. It comes from, it comes from being told as a young child that I was fat, ugly, I eat too much, I am this too much. It comes from all of that. It comes from abandonment. It comes from trauma. It comes from all of that, right? And so I've learned to guide myself, and I've learned to listen to my body, and I've learned to listen to my feelings, and I learned to listen to my emotions. And at the same time, I got a little research in about why the hell our brain goes in this direction and how I can freaking stop it, right? I mean, so that's what it is. And I know it takes time, and I know it takes moments, and I know it takes a lot of hard work, but trust me, the work works. Okay, so do it. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, right? Let's just go right there. There are times where I do overeat. I think, what was it? We got Girl Scouts cookies the other day, right? And like the next thing I know, I'm like eating like 7 Thin Mints, right? Like, I'm just like, this is not good. I gotta stop. But it happens. Okay, so the next thing I want to go into is the lies we tell ourselves. This one's a tough one for me. All right. And this is why, and I'm going to explain it. And I hope that I explain it in a way that serves you. And I hope it explains it in a way that it resonates with you. Because that is my mission. My mission here is to be able to give love and light and to help others see their truth. Right. So the lies we tell ourselves. Look, when I was a young child, they used to call me Tammy Faye Faker. right? They used to call me the liar, the exaggerator, the this and the that, right? At the time, I had no idea what was happening because I knew I was receiving information. I knew I was receiving things that other people didn't see. And I knew I was having memories of things that never physically happened to me in that present moment of life. And that's because I have learned that my gifts is that I am an intuitive psychic. I can go back to my past lives and see where I've been. I can see other things. So as a child, I got all the time that I was lying about this because I would be like, well, wait a second. No, we went to go here last week and da-da. And people would be like, what are you talking about? That didn't even happen. And the reason why it was happening to me is because these were messages I was receiving about what was my experience, my perception of what was happening, my understanding that happened in my past life. And this is the thing also, whenever you have like one of those moments where you're like, oh, I'm having deja vu, those deja vu moments are moments that you had in your past life. And it's now just correlated and coming together for you to learn a lesson. And that's it. So, and I was also taught how to be manipulative, how to tell lies so that way no one would know the truth about me, right? And or I would tell lies because I wanted people to like me more. I mean, the whole confusion of it all as young kids, when you especially don't have role models out there that help guide you, you begin to learn these things. You begin to like incorporate these things in your brain, and then it becomes in there. Because again, the brain is fight or flight. The brain wants to protect. And so anything that you do that's outside of what your brain wants to protect you for will get in there. And so the lies we tell ourselves are the lies of the definitions that other people have told us, right? And so that goes along with the things of like, people would tell us we were, not so pretty, or our hair looked bad, or, those clothes are a little tight, or all that. So anytime we see ourselves or look at ourselves, that's the first things we think about. Those are the first things that we remember. Those are the first things that come up. We remember the lies, right? Because they're easier to remember. I mean, for God's sakes, if I looked at myself in the mirror and thought, how beautiful am I? No, because I can't remember one person who's ever told me I was beautiful, right? Back then. I mean, now it's a different story. But the lies that we tell ourselves go into this area of the white lies, the exaggerations, the plain out lies. Even in the sense of like, say somebody texts you and says, hey, I would love to meet on this day, or hey, you have time for a phone call, and you really don't feel like it. So then you just say an excuse. Oh gosh, so slammed right now. I got this and this going on. Oh, I got my dog in the room. You hear her? She's like, yes, amen, sister. But in that sense of that's why we have, whenever we have those lies that we say, we're truly not living our best life in those moments. And I know it's hard, and I know it can be such a struggle to just tell people how we feel. Hey, shh, no thank you. No thank you. No thank you. And so whenever we have those things, when those lies happen, my dog is really enjoying this conversation, I guess. Whenever those lies pop up, right? Whenever we have the white lies, the exaggerations, and everything like that. Just like the emotional eating, just like everything from there. Hey, baby, it's okay. Can you just be quiet for a second? Yeah. Whenever we have those things, it's the same thing. Your brain wants to protect you. Your brain wants to say, don't tell them the truth. Don't act like you're vulnerable. Don't say that because you want to people please. It's the same thing. Your gamma receptors, everything that's in you, it's all the same. It's all going to happen. And so you literally have to be able to reframe and trick your brain to say, no, I don't want to be a liar. I don't want to say those things. I don't want to have to exaggerate. And, and sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but even sometimes where it's like when I didn't want to do something and I was like, oh, I was so busy. Yeah, so busy eating my bowl of cereal, watching Netflix, right? It's because we don't want to be out there. So if you're not around, if you don't have the people in your circle that you can say, look, I'm not feeling it right now. Thank you for reaching out. I'll get to you in just a second, right? I'll contact you next week and let's plan something, right? Or say that you're talking with somebody and they're like, hey, what do you do for a living? And then you exaggerate on what you do. All that is that your ego is trying to step up and be better than that and be bigger than that. But the thing about it is like that's whenever you are allowing your ego to take control. You're allowing your ego to come in and just like take you over. So that way those people can look at you like, oh, she's something. Yeah. Right. But it doesn't matter, because even if they told you the truth, you don't care. Right. And so just like the lies we tell ourselves and just like the emotional eating, we're looking to feel calm. We're looking to feel safe, right? To feel safe. And I'm not saying safe out in the world. I'm saying you're looking to feel safe within yourself. And so this week, this is my challenge for you. I want you to be able to take a step back and ask yourself, what feels safe for me? What feels safe for me? When my body wants to emotional eat, what do I need to feel right in this moment? What do I need to feel safe? What makes me want to feel calm? When I'm lying and exaggerating and people pleasing and putting up with toxic environments, I want you to ask yourself, what else would make me feel safe in this moment? In this moment right now. I challenge you to do that this week. And I would love, 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 love if you come back to this video and you comment below in what it was and share with us, share with me what it can be. And if you're having a hard time to get there and you just don't know where to start, DM me. Let's set something up. Let's get it going to where you're on that right path of living your best life. Because let me tell you, those toxic people in your life, you were choosing them to stay in your life. And I'm not saying you have to leave people. I'm not saying you have to get rid of people. I'm saying you have to start setting boundaries on yourself, reframe your mind, understand that your brain works a certain way. So there's no getting away from how the brain is mechanically does things, right? Your neuron transmitters are your neuron transmitters. Boom, that's it, right? But what you can do is whenever they're about to ignite somewhere, whenever they're about to ignite into that emotional eating of calm, you can zap it, I guess, if you will, and say, no, I know this is where you want to go to emotional eating, but all you really want to do is feel calm and safe. So what else can you do to get calm and safe? What else can you do? I challenge you to do that. I challenge you to write that down. I challenge you to find that within yourself. Find your truth in the most loving and light way that you can. And that's what I would like you to challenge yourself with this week. All right, guys, I thank you so much for sharing, all of you. I thank you so much for watching. I hope you share this. I thank you for being in this present moment with me. I thank you for sharing this energy with me of love and light in hopes that it is able to progress you forward in life. Find out what your body needs. Find out where you're lying to yourself and challenge yourself to understand what will help you feel safe and calm. All right, guys, until next Monday, keep loving, keep growing, and keep embracing life boldly. I love you all.